And I was talking to my mom about this earlier today, and my mom made a comment that I don't really agree with her with. She said, like, Randy, she said, some people just have, a drive for nostalgia. They just want to remember stuff. Look at that reaction on your face.
They have a drive for nostalgia. They just want to remember stuff.
They just want to remember stuff. Like they just want to have like
No,
old memories.
I'm gonna rephrase that in the same way. I'm gonna rephrase that, but it's gonna elicit the same kind of response. People don't just want to remember stuff; they can't forget. Yes, sir. Back at it again.
It's been a long week, dude.
It has been a long week. You know what's going on? This Unpopular the podcast. You know what's going on? It's me, was the cameraman in the building, running in the building. We back at it another week. It's
getting cold out.
It's November now. Yeah.
Which means it's gonna get cold.
Yeah, it's gonna get cold. It's gonna be getting worse and worse than this.
Now, David, you say like
just be prepared. Wear layers, man.
Yeah, in the summertime, David, you be saying it's hot like bacon. So
it's hot like
in the wintertime, it's cold like
cold like like this ain't too frigid yet. This cold like food from yesterday. Like it's cold like food from yesterday. But like
when it gets cold as shit.
It might get cold as shit, it might be cold like what's another thing? Mm-hmm.
Cold like nuts.
Colder than a bitch. Yeah. Colder than a bitch. Yeah. Bitches be cold. Where they going?
Real talk.
Cold than they hard.
Sometimes they are.
Bitches be frigid and they hard.
Mm-hmm. That's a good name for a song.
Frigid bitches. Frigid bitches. That's
something like that.
All right.
Either that or something else.
Okay. All right. I can fuck with that song. It might be hard. It might be real passionate. Okay.
But it's been a long ass week because I worked
week,
fucking 5 doubles in a row. Shockingly enough, that shit is long, bro. Mm-hmm. Like it's a long ass day. And the crazy thing is that like usually my doubles are not that busy. Not this week. My doubles were like busy like all day. Like even during the day shift, it was busy for like no type of reason. People were like ordering mad like to go shit, deliveries in the morning, stuff like that. My boss even had like a housewarming party or like a celebration. He ordered stuff and shit like that. It was a hectic shift, a hectic week, bro. I didn't get it. Was it
some type of occasion going on?
No.
For the town, maybe?
Just some
Was it no restaurant week or nothing?
No. Just some random ass shit. Like it was just randomly busy this week.
People just fucking with the Delicious Heights.
Yeah, like for no reason. Well, I mean, we are the only restaurant in the town, so like that's like at least the only really well known one in the town.
It was doing a lot of raining this week too.
Do you think people get like cabin fever and they just want to order out?
Yeah, people get lazy and immediately DoorDash.
Right.
Yeah. For the bond.
I actually didn't know that. Like, apparently, like that's like a strategy restaurants do. Apparently, when it's like raining outside, like people really be just like saying, like, you know what, fuck this, I'm not gonna actually cook. I'm just gonna actually order food.
Yeah, I'm gonna order food.
But the thing is,
and then like it's gone. It's gone from I'm just gonna order food and I'll just go pick it up. It's gone from that to I'm just gonna DoorDash it so somebody else can drop it off at your house.
Right. But the crazy thing is that like if it's raining, why would you and you have cabin fever, why would you want to leave the house and go pick up food? Why don't you actually cook at home if it's raining? Wouldn't you want to do that? It seems like the opposite way.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think people are lazier than ever. So it's like, once that rain kick in, it's like, oh, now I just want to take a nap.
Right.
Like shit, and then that rain kick in,
it really makes
me tired.
It really makes me think about like, human nature and like, our animal instincts in many ways. Like, because most animals don't get caught in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that includes us. Like, we don't like it.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like, no animal likes getting caught in the rain for no reason.
I don't know. It may be the technology. How fast everything has excelled in the last, I'll say, 50 years. But we're starting to, I think humans are starting to look a little domesticated, y'all.
David, we've been domesticated for a minute.
A little domesticated, y'all.
We've been domesticated for a minute.
But in the ways that like
useless domesticated?
Yeah, in the ways that like we've ruined what dogs used to be.
in what? Like the
Yeah.
wolf nature of
hmm
dogs.
In the way that we've ruined what dogs used to be.
But I mean, that's kind of a good thing though, because like dogs are our best friends.
I understand that, but we've like there are species of dogs that just suffer because of what we've done to their DNA. They just have
Like
nasal problems. They have
oh, like
problems. They have
like
problems.
pugs and like like bulldogs and stuff like that,
Yeah. They
or
just
like other dogs with like demented faces.
Yeah, or dogs that just come out straight with arthritis type shit.
Right.
You know, just for our own need of wanting dogs to fit certain niches
And
or whatever.
specific tasks and
Mm-hmm.
duties.
Exactly.
So is
I
like
feel like
would you
we've
then
we've
say
done that as we've started to regress that way as humans.
okay, fair enough? But the thing is, Davey, is that like I feel like a majority of people are like that, but there's like a small minority, even like me and you, for example, like we're aware of that, but like other people are not. That's one
Mm-hmm.
of the things that's always bothered me about people is that like people are unable to like see what other people see when it comes to society and like
Mm-hmm.
human existence. Like going back to my poem, "The Animal Beneath the Illusion," it's like some people can see that, but like other people can't see it though. And I'm always so curious as to like why some human beings and why their brains like don't allow them to like see past the illusions that we created to like you know civilize us, to make ourselves more civilized and domesticate ourselves in that way.
Um, I don't know. I don't know what it is that allows them to keep their sanity. Um,
Oh, so you think it's insanity that we see the world differently?
to a certain extent, maybe.
Is that why we're like fucking mad and shit? That's why we smoke
Yeah,
weed and drink.
some of the smartest people are mad. They're a little not. They got a couple screws loose up there. It
Yeah,
ain't right for you to be, you know,
aware
for
of like
for you to feel like you're contemplating and challenging the questions that build our society and, and
yeah,
and create the universe that we live in.
right.
To be able to
You
think
have to be
against that and challenge that, you got to be a little
you gotta be a
little
little
off.
mentally
You got to be a
unwell to
little
do
off.
that.
You got to be a little off. You know.
You think so completely?
Yeah. But it's not to say that that's a bad thing because you're the things that you challenge and the things that you question, you know, result in um, further conversation. You open the conversation for more perspective, and
And do you
you find
think
you
do you
find that you're
think
not necessarily as crazy as you thought you were.
And do you think maybe that's actually like necessary? Like, do you think the universe maybe has a reason for like picking quote unquote certain people to like be able to see beneath the bullshit, and we have to be stuck with that madness until someone else joins us in it?
I don't think that's necessarily too off. I don't think that's necessarily too off. I know we're all made out of star stuff.
Yeah.
So it could be anything in anybody that just makes them question something. But I think in order for us to be better and progress as anything, we have to continue to discover. We have to continue to challenge. We have to continue to to
Push the
to
boundaries.
push the boundaries. We have like how do you think records are gonna get beat?
By pushing
By
boundaries.
pushing boundaries, by figuring out what more we're actually capable of doing and thinking.
Right.
That's why they keep coming out with a new Guinness World Book of Records every year because people keep doing new shit better
Yeah.
type of shit.
But that's just the natural flow of things, and
Mm.
like it's
And that's how things are supposed to go. But I
yeah.
feel like to transition into the topic that I was bringing up earlier, it's where everything has a hack. How there's always a get get quick, get something quick.
A cheat code.
Yeah, there's always a cheat code to something, and it's like, when did we stop wanting to try and put in effort to get the things that we wanted?
I
You
mean,
know,
I mean, like,
our
I mean, by
desires.
year, I could probably tell you it probably happened around like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, when I was in high school, where
Mhm.
like I remember back when I graduated high school in 2014 and 2015, and I would be on like my Facebook page that I deleted a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
There would be nothing but those life hacks that you're talking about, like day in and day out. So like somewhere around the 2010s is where like people just said like, you know what, fuck it, like I'm just gonna figure out like the quickest way to get through life and shit,
Mm-hmm.
and figure out how to hack life before it like fucks me in the ass and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Or I don't know. To me, it seems like people have gotten comfortable with uh, a, showing a lack of care and effort. With being nonchalant.
Yeah.
With
It's almost like people feel very indifferent to
yeah.
society and the world.
hmm You know, I remember seeing, um, things about people doing quiet quitting.
What is that again? Remind me,
Quiet quitting.
please.
It's like you go to your job and do the bare minimum type of thing because
You
they don't
mean you
because
mean the norm in all work
you
society?
go to your job. No, you go to your
I
job
don't
and
do
do
that.
you go to your job and do the bare minimum, and you don't care. Like you clock in at that time on the dot. You clock out on that clock on the dot. You don't give them any extra. You don't do anything, and you when it's time to leave, you just leave. Fuck them.
Oh no, I don't do that. But
No,
is that called quiet quitting, or is that just called laziness?
it's called. I mean, there's a term called quiet quitting. I think that it's like it's honestly just around like giving minimal effort in your workplace.
And is that supposed to be like a life hack, or is that supposed to be like a fuck you to the
That's like
establishment?
it a little bit of both. It's like your job. You don't owe your job anything. Basically,
And do you
that's the
think?
attitude that
And
people are
here's the
having. You
thing.
don't owe your job anything for them to be doing this, and they're only going to take advantage of you in every aspect, and wanting you to do work.
And do you think that's partly related to to some degree, how some companies really do in some ways treat their
Mm.
employees with the bare minimum treatment, where
That's I do.
like underpaying them
Mm.
and then making them work extensive hours and doing things like that, and basically forcing them to do extensive amounts of work without really getting enough to show for it.
Mhm.
So that's why
It
quiet
has a lot.
quitting, where they
Mhm.
basically just
So
come
now
clock
everybody
in.
has the attitude that I'm not going to try when I go to work,
Right,
even though that's not every company that you apply for,
right,
and that shouldn't be the attitude that you have when you go to work for something.
right.
You know,
Because that's why the people say a lot of times, especially like the
it's
people
like
in
to
our
say that
generation.
you need in. It's like to say that you need incentive for everything that you do. You know,
Yeah, and I mean the incentive is there. What's up, bro? Good, man. No, so and I mean I see your point though. That actually makes sense, but the and like it
because
really
kids are doing the same thing in schools nowadays.
see. I always thought that was just like kids just being kids.
No, these kids are so fixated um, from getting their dopamine fix from the screens or whatever. They're giving minimal effort at school as well,
Yeah,
and not putting in the effort to
but
learn.
that's actually why nowadays there's this
And it's not being reinforced by the parents. So it's like the school can only do so much.
But two notes from that. There's actually a thing now where there's a psychologist named Jonathan Haidt who's on like a campaign right now.
Mm.
He's trying to advocate for schools to like ban cell phones and smartphones
Mm.
from kids and also social media on there. And it's slowly working, but it's like a buildup because like it's almost like taking crack away from a
Mm.
crackhead. Like it's almost impossible to like really do it because if they do it, they get angry, they get angst, they get anxious and whatever
I was
bullshit.
talking to my friend Henry the other day, and I was telling him about I was talking about these damn kids, and I was talking about said I said I remember going to school through every level, from elementary school to an intermediate school to a middle school to high school, whatever. And I remember I would leave from one school, like I'd go from fourth grade to fifth grade, and I would have to go to another school, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, make sure you do this. They're not gonna hold your hand. When you get older, they're not gonna hold your hand getting up there. And then I would go from intermediate school to middle school, from sixth to seventh grade. And be like, "Oh, well, make sure you do this because they're not gonna hold your hand when you get there. And then I'd go from middle school to high school, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, make sure you do this because they're not gonna hold your hand when you get there." And you could leave high school and oh, make sure you do this because they're not gonna hold your hand when you get there. And then we left high school, and they'd be holding everybody's hand the entire way.
Yeah,
They've been holding everybody's hand the entire way.
yeah. Not actually letting you like experience it or figure shit out, right?
I think about so many things that you go through as soon as you get out of high school that they didn't say nothing about.
Right.
It would have been very useful for me to be in high school and learn how to do my taxes.
Davian, that's a whole different conversation. Like
It would have been very useful for that.
high school doesn't teach life skills at all. They stopped doing that back in like the 60s.
I remember going to middle school and having a home economics class,
I remember that.
being in a sewing class, having a wood shop class.
I remember that.
You know, I remember doing stuff like
That
that.
happened to me in high school.
All of those stuff are, and I remember having similar classes like that in high school too. You know, but all of those classes are so influential at just exposing children to stuff. You know,
But it's also a matter
you have to expose these children to the world that's really going to be around them. You know, and that's what I think has become the problem with the parents.
But that's also a byproduct of or it's more of a question of whether or not should a school do that or should a parent do that.
Well, I'll tell
'Cause
you
people
this:
advocate-
the parents aren't doing it. The parents are getting mad when the school is doing it.
School stops doing it.
The school stops doing it, and then these kids grow up with
Fucking
no
dumb.
exposure. Yes, dumb. And the parents wonder why.
Yeah, well, Davian, here's the thing about that, Davian, is that I took a sewing class, for example, back when I was younger, but I forgot how to do it, though.
Sure, you may have not retained any of the information, but if you were to,
And even with woodshop.
if somebody were to, but you were exposed to those things, at least you know what these tools look like. At least you know the materials that you might need if you were to start sewing something again. Like you might need a template, so you know what you how to cut out the fabric. You know, you might need to line everything up so that you might need the pins so that you can line everything up so that you know where you're going to be, the line you're going to be sewing along.
You want to know?
It's just exposing these kids to things that they may end up seeing later. You know.
Well, here's actually another thing that kids haven't been exposed to for a long time. That's actually a lost art is writing in script or writing in cursive.
Mhm.
So, like for me, I went to Catholic school back in Brooklyn, and we were taught how to write in cursive and write in script. You know, ever since probably the second grade. So it's gotten to a point where like that's actually the only let's say skill that I learned in school that I retained into my adulthood because my hand is so accustomed to writing in cursive, I actually can't naturally write in print anymore. So that's actually what it is. And the funny thing is that kids have to learn how to do that because number one, it looks more professional, but it's also partly because a lot of like documents in our government are written in cursive, and a lot of these kids actually can't read it. They actually can't read in cursive.
The problem is that everything, like I said, is that it's about the technology and everything is automating and moving very fast has been for over the last 50 years. I'll say.
Yeah.
Like most people don't use paper no more, so they find it obsolete, and that's why they took it out. Type of shit.
Like paper.
Paper copies. They don't do a lot of handwriting in school no more. Most of the shit is done on either computers or tablets.
All right, so you know what? I haven't really been around schools like that in years, so I probably don't know that.
They do shit on tablets and
yeah, I was about to say like what I do know is that they do it on tablets, right?
They do it on a tablet, on a smart book, on a Chromebook, or on the whole computer. Like
now
they have access.
You
to
could
all
argue that the benefit because it saves paper.
It does, you know, but it's like it doesn't to make learning how to, because you still learn these things when you're in kindergarten, mind you. This is how you would learn your letters. You know, how to write them yourself by hand. That's what you would learn that in like before kindergarten and in kindergarten, you know, so that by the time you get to the first grade, you're reading and shit, you know.
Yeah, and David, I do agree with you going back to what you were saying, like everything's now a life hack. I think it's partly also because, yes, people are getting lazy, but I think it's also partly because parents are getting lazy. And
parents are getting lazy
and
too,
parents are getting fed up. Because it goes back to even, like, I remember, like, cause at my job when I serve at a table sometimes, the first thing parents will ask me the moment I walk up to the table is, hey, do you have an Etsy sketch? Do you have a Game Boy? Do you have a controller? Do you have something to give these kids?
Yes,
and I'm
because your kids don't know how to be fucking bored.
Well, it's not even be fucking bored.
You didn't teach your kids how to be bored.
No, it's
sometimes you just have to sit there and do nothing.
David,
shut the.
David, it's not even a matter of being David. It's not a matter of even being bored, David. It's literally a matter of a parent actually talking to their fucking kid at the dinner table. What do you mean give them a tablet when you're sitting there at dinner with your kids?
Parents are disengaged from being parents.
You're asking me for a tablet for your child at a table, why don't you fucking talk to them?
Mm.
You're sitting there just doing this shit, just miserable, angry at the
Yeah,
world,
probably
sipping on
on your phone.
no, no, they're not. They're not on the phone. They're just sitting there miserable, sipping on a cognac or a martini because they're so irritated at the world, and they're like, just give these fucking kids a tablet to entertain themselves because I'm not gonna do it. And that's why these kids are so disconnected to their parents, and then they wonder why these same parents, when their kids get older, these kids don't want to deal with them, and they're like they're 60 years old, and they're like, why don't you want to hang out with your daddy? Because I didn't hang out with you when I was 10, and I wanted that. You slapped me with a fucking tablet and entertained me like that way. You didn't actually talk to me. You know what I mean? That's part of the problem, and it's the fault of the parents because like they're looking for conveniences, they're looking for life hacks as a way to just entertain. But what they're
looking for a hack
but these
to
life
do
hacks,
everything.
these life hacks are encouraging emotional disconnects. It even goes into relationships because instead of actually talking to your partner face to face on the in person, you're sending them memes through your phone and video messages and all kinds of other bullshit. You're communicating through the phone instead of eye to eye contact. And what people don't realize is that eye to eye contact increases oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone responsible for pair bonding.
Exactly.
And you don't do that. You do it through this.
Exactly.
You're dating and you're having sex through your phone or whatever it is by sending them these things and whatever.
People are out here faking getting better. People are out here faking being healed. People are not, and not to say that, not to say that people aren't, actually healing or trying to make progress, but it's like how do you know that you're better if you've never put yourself to a challenge?
Or even went to a different person that doesn't even know you, or a person that saw you, let's say, years in the past.
How do you know you're not better if you don't come across a similar situation that you've been in before and made a different decision?
Right.
How do you know you're better if you're not trying? If you're not actively getting there?
Well, it's partly because people live in the idiot box on the internet and they're talking about healing and improving, but the problem is they just live in an echo chamber where they don't really see anything outside of that box. So it encourages, let's say, a degree of narcissism where people really think that they're doing better because they have people that they don't know encouraging them for clicks and likes.
It's not just like it's like what I'm writing now in my little notebook or whatever is like people. It's not a bad thing that people are sharing all this information that they may be gathering. It's not a bad thing that people are finding ways to apply this information to their lives to benefit them. But I think people are giving themselves too much credit for the little bit of information that they've gathered. And there's a reason why we call certain people professionals, because they've taken the time to study and put certain things to practice to know that things work or don't work.
Right.
And it's not a bad thing that people may share a little bit of information online, but that does not make you a credible professional or necessarily
reliable source.
give you the credibility to help other people with said information, because you don't know the full extent of what has to be learned or gone through to call yourself a professional.
Well, that goes back to what you're saying about life hacks, where people are just picky and choosy about certain information, and they kind of like identify with that information and think that that's all you need to know about something.
People are frauds. People are frauds. People are more worried about playing the part than maintaining their position.
That's a good quote. That's a good quote. Should I get to my question?
Yeah. Go ahead. We're cooking right now. We are cooking right now.
Okay.
Man.
So recently, I thought of a quote, actually, or a phrase more recently when I was writing in my notebook a couple of days ago, and this is what it was. How can you go forward in your relationship journey if your ex is still in the back seat? Now, what I mean by that is, how can you truly be in a new relationship, both mentally, physically, and emotionally, if, for example, you still have emotional or physical tabs or ties to your ex?
You can't.
And what I also mean by that, going even deeper, is I know a lot of people that still not only follow their exes on social media, they
Mm.
still have old messages, old voicemails. They have their call history, old text
Mm.
messages. They also even have pictures,
Mm.
especially potentially illicit sexual pictures,
Sure.
with their exes, and they've been broken up for years.
Mm.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a minute, you broke up with this person 5 years ago. You still have photos of them in your phone. You still have old messages. You
Mm.
still have their number, unless they change their number.
Mm.
But you're dating a new person.
Mm.
Number one,
It's a
how
level of toxicity that you're attaching onto this old memory of somebody that no longer exists. Like
Yeah.
like that person is no longer this person.
right?
So you holding on to this memory and this attachment of these emotions that you have to these memories and stuff like that
Yeah.
is very toxic.
Exactly, but then it also raises the question of how invested are you in your new relationship, so to speak, but
Mm.
also how respectful are you being towards your new partner? Because
Yes, exactly.
let's ask the most basic question: if you have photos, especially explicit photos of your ex, right,
Mm.
and you have a new boyfriend or new girlfriend, and they look through your phone and they see it,
Mm.
do you think they're going to be okay with it? How many people do you think
No,
are going
they
to be okay
probably
with it?
wouldn't. They probably wouldn't.
It's like, why do you still
Why
have
do you
these
still
bitches?
have these? Mm.
Exactly. It's been years since y'all broke up. We've been
Yeah.
dating for 4 years. You broke up 5 years ago.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Mm.
And I was talking to my mom about this earlier today, and my mom made a comment that I don't really agree with her with. She said, like, Randy, she said, some people just have, a drive for nostalgia. They just want to remember stuff. Look at that reaction on your face.
They have a drive for nostalgia. They just want to remember stuff.
They just want to remember stuff. Like they just want to have like
No,
old memories.
I'm gonna rephrase that in the same way. I'm gonna rephrase that, but it's gonna elicit the same kind of response. People don't just want to remember stuff. They can't forget.
Fair enough.
They can't forget
Right.
those times, and
Yeah.
their attachment to those times is what's causing them issues.
Exactly, and that's really why like so many people are not really
It's
in their new relationships because
you're
they
putting too
can't
many
move forward.
reservations of your heart, of your soul, of your mind in too many places. And honestly, you got to be here.
Right.
You got to be here in your
Yeah.
shit. You can't be putting little pieces of you everywhere, hoping that shit is gonna work out.
And
Like,
here's
keeping this hope of of a memory of love that no longer exists anymore.
But the thing is, Davian, is that like it's also partly related to like a person's drive to want to possibly get back together with that person.
Mhm.
But that's also why I say like it also
That
teaches you to not
idea-
fully be into the new relationship.
Exactly.
'Cause
That
they- 'cause,
idea
like, and
of
I-
that
and I know
idea that you're fascinating on no longer exists, and you having those reservations in other places is going to prevent you from being closer with your current partner.
because if, for example, you and your new partner get into a fight, you're probably 9 times out of 10 going to reminisce about the old relationship that you used to have.
Mhm.
But you're only going to remember the good moments. You know what I mean? That's why you only keep photos and videos of happy moments with your exes, and usually text messages and phone calls that remind you of the good times.
Mhm.
But that's part of the problem. Like one of the things that I respect about one of my young bloods at my job, this kid when he told me this was only 19 at the time. He told me that he's had like 4 ex-girlfriends, but every time he breaks up with either one of them, he deletes their numbers, deletes the messages, blocks them on social media, and never speaks to them again.
Mhm.
So he's actually more respectable than a lot of these older dogs, where they're like 30 years old and they still have photos of they still have like sex tapes and sex pictures of their exes from 10 years ago. It's like, this is why you haven't moved on yet, because you're still thinking about that shit.
I can understand that.
It's like, nigga, I understand, bro, that you were fucking the bitch with a fat ass and big tits like 10 years ago.
Mhm.
Let it go. Y'all broke up. She was toxic. Whatever bullshit. You clearly don't.
I can't tell people that they can't have these feelings and reservations, but in order for you to move on and forward with somebody else, you have to let them go. You have to release them.
You have to
You
delete
have to
them
release
from
them.
your
I'm
life.
not going to say that you can't have these feelings and that they're wrong, because we create emotional bonds with people through
Yeah.
things like that. You know,
Mhm.
that's just natural, and it's only right that we hold on to these memories of whatever we do have. But you cannot carry everything with you along the way.
Because like Davian, like I mean, let me ask you a question, Davian. Have you ever done that?
Yes,
Like you kept old like history of your exes?
Mhm.
You've done that before?
I've done it before.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
All right, fair enough. I've actually never done that.
But
like,
I can agree with you to say that keeping things like that, keeping those reservations, just whether it's keepsakes or holding on to those framed good memories.
Hmm.
It doesn't it doesn't uh, it doesn't allow you to um, properly move forward with somebody else.
Right. Yeah.
You're cherishing those good parts of the memories and thinking that
Maybe
that
one day you'll get back
thinking that you
together.
could feel that feeling again, but you can't. So
No, no,
it's
no, no, no. You can feel it again, but you're trying to feel it with that same person
you're trying
because
to feel that with that same person and
or
recreate that. But that was then
and this is
when you
now.
guys were, and this is now. Exactly.
Right. And also, it's also, if you really think about it, Davian, it's actually pretty deceitful too, because most 9 times out of 10, no person, man or woman, is going to tell their current partner about photos or messages that's still in their phone or even pictures that they have hanging up in the house, right? For example. So you're more often than not like lying or deceiving or like deliberately hiding that kind of information from your partner,
Mm-hmm.
which is already deceitful in and of itself, which
Right.
increases more toxicity in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you go to your girl's house or I go to my girl's house. Well, you know what? Actually, I'll give you a little bit of a situation. Like, even with my girl, for example, she has photos of old family, but that's only because she has a kid with them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why, which I actually
That's
can
yeah.
understand.
Mm-hmm.
That gets a pass. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
referring to people that are dating and or sleeping with people that they didn't get married to or have kids with,
Mm-hmm.
and you still have 100 photos of happy moments with them,
Yeah.
and then you broke up for 2 years, and then you're dating a new person.
Mm-hmm.
That's toxic. What you just said.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only reason why you have an excuse to carry old, like physical history of your ex is if you were married to them, so you have a photo album, or you have a kid with them. That's it. You can't have old, tangible, like documents of your ex if you don't have those two things: a marriage document or a child with them. You know what I mean? I hate that shit. And one of my coworkers actually was kind of like that, and I actually low key kind of called him out on it, and he got mad at me, and I'm like, bro, you're mad at me because I'm actually holding you accountable for being a little bit toxic.
Mm-hmm.
You're dating.
No, people like toxicity nowadays. Like they can't, like they think having things, um, having things go well, and without problems is too easy. Is weird. Like people think they have something has to be wrong or something has to go wrong. Something has to be a little bit toxic for things to be moving well, and that's not the way that people want to move. People don't want to move in deceitful ways.
But it's
Or
crazy how people like try to avoid toxicity, but also kind of like you said, almost aspire to
almost
like.
aspire to have it, and that's to be the problem. It'll be the problem. That is exactly the problem right there. People want to have toxicity in their life in small manageable portions.
What kind of bullshit is that? What type of bullshit is that, Davian? People want. I mean, Davian, I understand people want like minor
I
moments of
don't want
like.
problems, even in a manageable thing. I'd rather strive for no problems. If that's what I have, then that's what I have to deal with.
Well, you'll never
You
be
know,
able to avoid problems, but like aspiring to have them is like
yes,
that's like weird.
exactly.
That's some weird shit. You feel me?
Exactly.
Like that doesn't make any kind of sense. Like I understand, like for example, like people like for example, like stress. People like certain forms of chosen stress, like going to a scary movie, going to the gym, or doing on a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
Those are chosen forms of stress. But wanting to look for example, like relationship problems, where like like a woman comes home and she's choosing violence. She wants to pick a fight with her boyfriend for no
Mm-hmm.
reason. It's like you woke up on the wrong side of the bed and you're like, I'm choosing violence today.
Yeah.
What that mean?
Like, what is that? What is that? I mean, there are obviously signs of deeper rooted issues. Whether it stems from the relationship that you have with certain levels of communication, or with toxicity and violence, or whether it's what do you call it? Whether it's um, the fact that people, damn, I forgot what I was saying. It like
It's like what? Like people waking up in the
It's like the relationship that they have with toxicity, or it comes from a need of like attention or something like that.
Right, right. Like, and that comes from a place of loneliness,
Yeah.
probably from like a child, or
Mhm.
probably from like a past relationship where they were ignored.
Right, exactly.
And that's
it
actually
stems from somewhere else, but it's how it manifests on the surface.
that's actually pretty interesting that like that's actually true, because yeah, there really is like people where like if they don't get attention, they'll look for a problem, and oftentimes that
Mhm.
attention is
Create a
just like,
problem.
yeah, it's like if you want attention, just create a problem, break
Mhm.
something, throw something,
Right.
yell at them. That's why, like, one of my friends gave me actually a piece of advice that said, realistically, dude, if you ever have like a lady like yelling and screaming at you or whatever reason, or starting to fight with you, just understand it's probably a need or a want of attention. They want to like feel loved by you. They're looking for a connection, and because you have been connected with them, the only way to really get it is for you to respond, because anger is the most powerful emotion, so people tend to just gravitate towards that, and whenever they're angry, they focus in on things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which is so stupid, but that's just how human beings work.
Yeah, we have to fixate on stuff like that.
We fixate on things that we don't like, and things that also scare us and annoy us.
Mm-hmm.
Like things that make us happy, we don't really like, pay that much attention to it. It comes and goes. That's oftentimes why people don't really appreciate their partners until a fight breaks out.
That's what's starting to make me mad too. It's like in certain aspects, it's like people are like getting bored with life.
You think so?
Yeah, it's like they feel like they know what to expect out of everything.
Do you think they're getting bored, or they're feeling indifferent towards life?
I think they're not touching grass. Honestly,
they're not touching grass.
I think they're not touching grass. Yeah.
What does that mean?
I think they're not going after life to the fullest extent of their power, and that's why their perspective on it is so bleak, and they think that there's less out there, and they're finding less excitement out of it.
Well, that's actually one thing that, for example, like the German philosopher Nietzsche actually warned about back in the 1800s. He warned that, like, in the modern day, we'll be living in a world of nihilism, where people just kind of lose faith in like living life in general, and they just don't seem to care anymore.
Yeah, that's how they're treating it.
They're putting their hands up, and they're like, you know what, fuck this. Like, I'm just gonna surrender to it. You know, I'm more of an absurdist, where like I do think life is kind of pointless and meaningless and purposeless, but I still do shit.
You have to.
I still do things despite the absurdity of life.
It's like, sometimes you can break it down to the simplicity of like, we're just humans, or we just live and we die, But it's like, what is everybody? It's not to say that everybody doesn't have their own personal attachment to this plane. It's like, what are you going to fill your experience with?
Right.
Regardless of how,
because it's more of like you have a chance to experience life in general.
Regardless of the fact that you know how everything is going to end.
With death.
Yeah.
You still do shit.
You still do shit, bro. You still have to fill that with excitement. Because otherwise, you're better off just getting it over with now.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's hard to put it like that, but it's like,
but it's the truth,
go out there and live life and experience it, because there's so much to be interested in and excited for. Don't let the perspective of don't let the
inevitable morality of your life.
Yeah, don't let everything that's around you minimalize your perspective on what you're capable of doing, what you're capable of achieving, and what you're capable of seeing in this world.
Right. And actually, yeah, exactly. But people just don't want to do that. Like, people, like, this is one of the reasons why, David, I'm afraid to read that poem, for example, is because, like, I really feel like I will ignite a stronger sense of nihilism despite I offered an alternative way of looking at the world. But it's more of like, people are already kind of miserable and indifferent to the world, where like they're just watching it burn. Because even Dean said that a long time ago, where it's like just let these young ass kids take office and just end up letting the world burn and shit. I mean, I'm not for that, obviously.
It's like, in my head, what I'm thinking of is that we all need help to get to where we want to go, especially through the hard parts. We're always going to need help to get to the next level, and somebody is going to have to be there to help, type of thing. And we're going to have to help each other. So it's like, no, it's not going to be easy. these times aren't easy. Obviously, the getting through it isn't going to be easy at all. There's not going to be any hacks, any easy way out, any get rich quick, whatever the hell. I don't know. It's always going to be a task at hand. There's always going to be a challenge that you have to face. There's always going to be pressure to endure.
Nothing meaningful in life is acquired through an easy path.
We have to do it. We have to be willing to help one another too. That's what I think. That's what I think we need a lot more of. Somebody's got to be willing to help.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be willing to help.
And also like let people see like a better side of life, and like really see that's also a reason why, for example, people advocate for having kids, for example, because it's like kids, at least for a short period of time, allow you to really see the world through a much more brighter and happier lens, because like children are new to the world, so they see the world differently. They get excited about the most minor things.
As
like,
much as you're
walking the streets with your child, for example, at the age of like 3 or 4, and you see a building that you saw for 20 years, but your 4-year-old's like, Daddy, like, what's that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it brings back that new excitement and shit.
Now you gotta help. Now you gotta teach. Where it's going. At some point, listen, we all need help. It's like,
go ahead, man.
Nah, I lost it again. It'll come back to me. But it's the fact that we all need help, like to get where we're gonna be.
That's actually one of the things that my father taught me back when I was a kid. Before, is that like, he always told me, Randall, you're never gonna change the world. Men before you have tried and have gotten killed for it. Your job is not to change the world. Your job is to affect and help, the small people the small group of people that are around you, and inspire them so much to where it becomes a domino effect, to where you affect one person, and then they affect someone else, and then they affect someone else.
As much as we feel like it's a very singular world, like everything is very
connected.
Everything is very connected. We all need each other. As much as they try to push a very singular agenda,
divisive agenda.
Yeah. For you to stand out on your own, for you to find this your career, but they don't tell you, they don't really go into it like we need each other, bro.
Because nobody really actually, if you really think about it fundamentally, nobody really actually does anything by themselves. Not this podcast, not my brand, not your music and not your music videos. Like everybody actually,
the water don't flow by itself, the lights don't turn on by itself, the door don't open by itself neither.
Yeah, like everybody actually has gotten help with like something. There's always at least one person that's helped somebody accomplish something.
The food don't cook itself.
Right.
The traffic don't run itself. Like, come on, man.
The government doesn't run either.
The government don't run at all. But if it did, they would need some help.
They need help when it does run.
They still need some help.
They need help when that shit does run.
They're gonna need some help. They're gonna need
teams don't win championships by themselves.
And there's gonna be one person taking care of it all. Because that nigga can't do it.
No one does that.
I know. And if they do, you see how bad of a job he's doing.
Yeah, but we all need each other, man, and like people really don't get that. Because I think it's partly because like people don't want to have to need people, because people are afraid of getting hurt or betrayed. But this goes back to a quote, may rest in peace, Bob Marley. He said, the truth is everyone's gonna hurt you. You have to just find the ones worth suffering for. And that's real.
That's real shit.
Nobody's ever gonna not hurt you.
That
like
real
everyone's gonna disappoint you at some point in your life.
Where's it going? Start getting tougher, yo. We're people. We scrape our knees and our elbows, bro. We
rub some dirt on it. You'll be alright.
We scrape our knees and our elbows, bro. We bite our tongues, like we bump our heads on shit. We get hurt, bro. Inside and outside. Like, get tougher. We're made to do stuff. We're durable. We can take it.
We're made to have adventure.
We can take it. Trust me.
That didn't sound right.
No, for real. Not. I didn't say. I didn't fully. I didn't do the whole ditty. I didn't say take that. I just said we can take it, yo. Like. Think about all the people who are quote unquote traumatized.
Yeah.
Bitch, you're still here.
You still
On the
alive.
other side, you're still alive.
Yeah.
So get better, get tougher.
Hey, yo, on a random side note, on a random funny note, dude, one of my coworker, our friend, dude, he missed jury duty.
You missed jury duty?
And he got a warrant out for his arrest.
Yeah, that's how that works.
He got a warrant out for his
That's
arrest.
how that works.
It's like I walked into
at the county.
I walked into the restaurant and like he's at the table with the manager, like trying to go through it and shit. And I'm like, dude, what did you do? He's like, he missed jury duty. And my first reaction is, you were going to jail, bro.
Straight to jail.
And everybody started crying, laughing.
To jail.
Everyone started crying, laughing and shit.
Straight.
But that was just a random funny note that happened this week.
That's funny.
But I actually didn't know. Apparently, you will go to jail if you miss jury duty.
Oh yeah.
Like I thought you just pay a fine or something.
Nah. You were obligated to be here.
So you really will go to jail?
That's like,
For how long?
I don't know, probably not a long time. I don't know.
Like a day? Like 2 days?
Maybe a day. Maybe I don't know how long it is. I don't know what the crime is for missing jury duty. It sounds like a day kind of crime.
You spend 24 hours in a jail cell.
Sounds like you stay here for the weekend or something like that. Like,
That's wild,
I
bro.
don't know.
For a day.
But
and
hey.
also, is that a charge? Like, is that actually like a charge or a misdemeanor or something?
No, I don't think it's a charge. Like, you would just get a fine for it. Like it's like it would be the same thing for the person who's on trial. It's like a failure to appear,
Right.
type of thing. You know, so like, yeah, they're gonna put a warrant out for your arrest. You know, they're gonna hold you in there. You know, I don't know. I don't know how much bail is for that. Probably ain't that much.
Probably like $500.
Yeah.
That's expensive though.
Yeah, anybody trying to pay $500 for your ass because you didn't want to go to court? Get the hell out of here and go to court.
So yo, you got anything else you want to talk about?
And
Anything you saw in the news that's like bullshit? I mean, I shouldn't even say that. I really shouldn't even say that right now. You know the drill.
I mean, besides, Trump going to other countries and them just, they just keep beating this nigga off. Everybody's a hoe. Everybody's a hoe. Except for the big dogs out there. China wasn't playing that bullshit.
Everybody think that they're real until the money comes out. Then everybody's a stripper.
You get that. Yeah, everybody they want to shake ass. You get off of them. He get off the plane. We go to one country. They're playing the YMCA.
They're what?
They're playing the YMCA.
Who?
A whole band.
No, what country?
Oh, I don't know. It was one of them. It was a Southeastern Asian country. He went to like a couple of them.
A South Asian country did that? Like they're a little conservative down there. Like
no, he went to a couple of them. He went to South Korea. I know.
South Korea is a little bit.
He went to South Korea. He went to. I think he went to Thailand. I think he went.
Did he go to Japan?
I think he went to Japan. Yeah.
He went to Japan.
He went to Japan. He went somewhere else, and then he went to China.
Oh god.
I think China was the only one who wasn't sucking up to him.
Wasn't playing that bullshit.
Yeah. Fuck all that.
Yo, apparently, like he's like health wise. Apparently, like he has like
Bro, that nigga's fucking rotting. That nigga is fucking rotting. And he can rot. Word of the bond. Nigga ankles is fat. The nigga's turning black.
His hands are apparently
turning
his
black.
hands are black.
Word of the bond.
It's like, that's a marker for a disease, right?
I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just think he's just deteriorating. And nigga old. Like,
and I saw that. And I saw
he's deteriorating.
I saw a video a couple days ago where like I forget this doctor what type of doctor this guy is, but apparently he could see like in his suit pants and like he has like a pee bag apparently or like a dialysis bag or whatever the fuck. Where like he's just it's like an indication he just lost all control of his bowels or something like that. Or his bladder, because he's just old. Like he's not like it's not like he's having dementia or whatever.
Fuck. Old fuck.
He just lost control over his.
He might be having dementia. Anybody want to say that though? No one wants to say that.
Yeah, but they said it to Biden.
Yeah, I know because dickheads. Yeah, because they're dickheads. But damn, if they said that about him,
Yeah, they wouldn't dare say it to him.
But that nigga's definitely crazy. Fuck that.
It's like,
fuck that.
You think he been crazy?
You might not want to admit he got dementia, but that nigga crazy.
Right.
No, ain't nothing else going on.
The crazy thing about it, dude, is that like the presidency is a wild position. To be in charge of an entire country of 300 million people, that's actually kind of crazy. To represent everybody in this country and like show what kind of
hard.
you still show what kind of population or what kind of behavior your population actually does.
Mm-hmm. It's hard.
No, it's not even hard, dude. It's crazy. It's actually like psychotic to actually want to do that. You want to be the face of a country of 300 million people? That's insane, bro. To aspire to do that. You feel me?
I mean, like I said, somebody's got to help. Somebody's got to be in these positions, man.
Yeah, but
somebody's got to be in these
you're
positions.
still the face of a country, though.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
You're still the face.
So what?
That nigga, like...
So what? It ain't like he did... Yeah, sure, he chose to be there, but he also got voted in.
Yeah, but he aspired to do that. Either he aspired to do that or somebody told him to do it.
Yeah, but you have to think about it in the sense of the job, not in the sense of the perspective that you're putting it in. He's not just...
In what sense?
Because the way that you're explaining it sounds more like a king and not a president.
Okay.
A president is somebody who works for us. He's a representative of us. Yes.
He's going
to be the face to other countries, yes, but he's supposed to be listening to us. You know, positioning it like he's just in charge of a bunch of people is like, no, you don't have that much power.
Yeah.
That's just framing your job in a way that
enables tyranny.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually thought about this earlier today, actually. So, like, one of the things I thought about, like, reading, like, human tribalism and, like, what we do with regards to politics is that I have a rule of thumb. Whenever a politician gets in office, don't get mad at certain things that they do, because the first thing you should always recognize, there are 3 things you need to think about when a politician gets into office. Number 1, their personal identity. Whether it's their race, their religion, sexual orientation, whatever it is, understand that part, and then you'll understand what they're trying to push in many ways. Second thing you have to worry about or be concerned about is who funded their campaign and who helped them get into office. For Obama, for example, it was the bankers in the first election, and then for the 2012 election, it was the LGBT community that helped funded his campaign, which is why during his second term, gay marriage became legal, and that's the trade-off was. And then the third person you have to worry about is other people, other entities that might pay him, like lobbyists, to pay him to pass certain bills or laws, or politicians in general. So always remember that. So when a person is in office, like we talked about the term representation or representative, they represent who their identity is initially. That's why a lot of people, for example, hated Obama when he was in office, because he's a black man. So he's probably going to cater to the black community in general because that's his people, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can definitely understand that. I don't know how this nigga passed any of the bars, but just starting with his personal identity.
Well, I mean, it's white trash. Am I wrong?
No,
David, look at the people
it's not. It's not though. Like it's not white trash. Like it's.
What do you mean it's not white trash?
Donald Trump doesn't give a fuck about hillbillies, man. He doesn't. This man wears a suit every fucking day.
It doesn't mean anything.
He would be disgusted if one of these motherfuckers touched him in his nice suit, because he has that much money. He's not worried about the lower class white man. He's worried about the upper class white man.
Well, yeah,
that's his people.
Yeah, but the problem
now,
the problem is he got the degenerate whites and the white trash to vote for him.
That's because his ass is on reality TV, and his ass just put a bunch of money into everything. His ass. How are we supposed to take somebody seriously if you were on WWE, bro?
I mean, The Rock almost ran for office. He was on WWE.
I might feel a little bit more respectable about The Rock. At least he has better intentions. At least all of his presence that I've seen him in the public eye, he's been favorable.
And it's not like scandalous.
Yes.
Because Trump's been in a few scandals.
Exactly.
And a few scams.
Exactly. So just think about
and a few crimes.
Just thinking about public image, like I don't know how he passed that first bar.
What's the second bar?
You said the people who funded his campaign.
Yeah.
You know, the broke white people funded his campaign. The racist white people funded his campaign. I'll say that. The racist white people funded his campaign. And then the third one is like, it's almost like a slap in the face and self-explanatory, because you're talking about lobbyists or people who are who would pay for something, so he can to push their own agendas. This nigga's the one with the fucking agenda.
But he has the money.
Exactly, is what I'm saying. It's like, you feel, how did he pass any of these bars?
Right.
How did nobody's fucking signal go off like
Well,
problem?
Damien, like I don't mean necessarily by bars like qualification bars. It's
No.
It's more of like
Those are not qualifications, but those are like how did nobody see these? How did he pass by all those red flags and nobody said, "Hey, this is probably not a good idea to put this guy in this position because he's a fucking dumbass." Like,
right. And it's also
not only is he
it also does,
highly underqualified, but he's just he would do everything bad.
Oh, yo! Speaking of which, I don't know if you saw this video or this meme more recently. Did you see apparently quote unquote? I don't want to get political right now. Did you see apparently Erica Kirk, Charlie Kirk's widow, being a little bit too friendly with JD Vance at the
No.
at a meeting?
Nope.
Like
Didn't see that.
so
Didn't
she
care.
so she hugged him apparently, and she put like her fingernails like into his hair, like doing that shit. Like
And that nigga married?
yeah, he's married. He's married, but like that's like that reason. And apparently,
I don't care.
apparently they dated like years ago.
I don't care. I don't care.
Sure.
These are stupid scandals. These are stupid scandals.
Just for the views.
Just for the views and the entertainment.
It's not based on anything.
No. I don't give a damn about that tea. I don't give a damn about that tea. Mm-mm.
Care about the actual scandals.
Exactly. Release the damn files. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
And on that note,
Yeah.
I think we're good.
We'll be back next week. You know what's going on. It's been Wiz the cameraman, Randall in the building. It's been Unpopular, and we'll see you next time.